So what I'm going to talk about is a tool that I was actually shown by Karen Milne over in the design area, and this is just something called Padlet. Essentially what it is it's kind of like a little interactive corkboard, I guess you'd call it, which anyone who visits the site potentially can add text, images, video, files, web links, and a whole range of other things. So what they've been using it for over in creative industries is a little, so breaking the students up into groups and doing a bit of brainstorming. And I'll just show you some quick examples of that. So this is actual stuff that they've been putting together. And yes, some of it might not be entirely appropriate language, but that's young students for you. But as you can see, so it's quite, it's very easy to use. So what I'm going to do now is actually show you how easy it is to use. I've created a little demo site, and if I flick over to that, what I'll do is I'll share my screen here. You also notice that down in the bottom right corner there's now some discussion notes. So there's a link that you can use to go directly to this Padlet if you wish, as well as just the basics of what it is that you can do with it. So I'll share my screen.
Now we can see.
Okay.
Yep, now we can see your Firefox browser open in padlet.com.
Fantastic. All right, and so you can see that it's got the roses as the background and there's just a bunch of images.
Fantastic.
Okay, so as I say, you can add, and adding something in here is literally as simple as just double-clicking in a blank space. You can type in just a quick note, or you can put in like a little subnote, and then you've got the option of adding a URL. So what I'll do is I'll add the URL for teacher.cit.edu.au. And it takes a second or two to kind of work its way through the system. Not normally this long. But as you can see, what I've got now is a little window here, and I can just move this around. And if I click on it, it will actually expand and fill up the entire Padlet so that you can see everything that's there. And this is a fully usable website now. So now if I flick back, you'll see that I can also pop YouTube videos in there. And I won't. It will take a little while to load. So, but you should. Can anyone see the YouTube video up there now?
Yep, and it's just loading to play. It looks like a virtual room created.
It is, yeah.
Yes, identify and manage workplace hazards in a hospital. Yep.
Yep. And anyway, so I mean, what I like about this is that it is literally this simple to use. Now, the other things that you can put up in here, I've put a PDF document up. And again, that's a largish file, so that would take a little while to load, but that would eventually appear in this space. You can actually put just normal computer programs up there, so you could actually put a little executable file. So I've got one of those there. I've got a Google map. And so there are different levels of access that you can grant people. So you can make this completely publicly accessible, so anyone can just search it and find it. You can set it up so that people need to be invited to it, or that people can go to it if they've got the appropriate URL. And then you can set levels of interaction with it so that people can just look at it, people can add content, or people can actually edit existing content that's up there too. If we go over to this little toolbar on the side here, you can change the way that the page is organised from being freeform, where everything just kind of appears wherever you like, into a stream, so that everything is just there in order. You can change the background, you can import your own backgrounds, you can give it a customized address. So I've called this TeacherNet demo, and I could change that just in this window here if I chose. And you can also export it to either PDF, Excel, or CSV. You can embed it in a page. I've successfully embedded Padlets in eLearn pages before, which people can freely sort of access on the fly in their eLearn course. And it even gives you a QR code. All right, so I'll come out of this eventually. Stop sharing the screen. And yeah, that's Padlet in a nutshell. Just wondering, so does that seem like a tool that you might have use for if you wanted to type in what you thought you might be able to do with it? That'd be great. Otherwise, just put something in the chat window. That's fine too. Yeah, absolutely. And if you go to that address right now, or after the session, you can. I'm pretty sure I've got it set up so that you can just freely contribute and move things around. It gives you, to embed it in eLearn, it just gives you an embed code, and you just paste that into a label or a text block, the same as you'd paste in the embed code for a YouTube video.
Colin, Carol also asked a question there, so can students add to it? Carol, do you mean add to like your own teacher Padlet or create their own?
Either. Yeah, I mean, as I say, depending on what permissions you've set up, you can make it so that all people need to do is double click in a blank space, and then they can add whatever content it is that they like.
So it can be actually used as a shared space, like you can use it as a collaborative area with several students having access, and they put joint work up there.
Yes.
Great.
And as I say, it's completely free. I'm not sure what their business model is, but I'm happy that it is the way that it is. It used to be called Wall Wisher, apparently, so I guess they've decided this is a catchier name. No, what you see is what you get. No ads, no nothing. Yeah. All right. Well, that's pretty much time. If anyone's got any more questions, you can obviously contact me directly. So yeah, I think.
Carol was asking,
yes.
the Padlet that you actually showed us, can anybody add items to that actual one?
Off the top of my head, I can't remember. I can't remember whether I've set it up to. Actually, I guess I could just go and check that. Just give me a second. I'll take a look at the permissions that I've created for this. So under privacy settings, yes, you can write it, but you can't change any of the existing content that's there.
Yeah.
Well, I think, Carol, if you create it, you would maintain, moderating rights because you're the owner of the Padlet. But if your students create it, then I guess you probably couldn't. So, yeah, it would probably be a good idea for them to be accessing a Padlet that you've created.